So, hi everyone. I'm Khushbu. I am Sachinn Sir's student. I've known Sachin Sir for the last 3 years, and I've really seen the benefits of numerology in my life. And today, I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to meet Sachin Sir in person and host a podcast with him, and know a bit more about his mission and why his vision about one numerologist in every household, and would like to continue. So thank you, sir, for agreeing to host this podcast with
No,
me.
you're welcome, Khushbu. I'm actually looking forward to a nice conversation.
Likewise.
Like you said, that it is underrated as a science. It seems to be mostly shrouded in hocus pocus of, oh, numerologist is going to change a name. I am not going to change my name. And then it stops there. So, yeah, maybe it's a good time to have a good conversation. And then I know that you're based out of London. So likewise, thank you for making it an effort to come all the way here
My pleasure.
and having a conversation. But so let's start talking.
Sure. So, sir, I'd like to expand. I've known that from my previous conversations with you that you were initially a general manager and then you moved to being a vice president at GE, and then you've completely switched your career to numerologist. So, I'd like to know how you managed to do that and how numerology has played a part in you switching your careers and also achieving the success.
No, it was just not being a general manager. So I'm a hotel management graduate, and yeah, so I had a hotel stint for about 10 years at leadership positions, being a general manager, group general manager, or head of sales and marketing. And then I switched on to GE, the back office operations, and then India head for AT&T, the vice president of Western India back office operations for Dell Computers, JC Penney, Bank of America, etc. So yeah, I was well versed with the क्या कहते हैं ना उसको working practices of the top Fortune 50 companies. And I was always doing numerology because I started numerology when I was in class 8th. So let's say at this age of my life, about 37, 38 years of numerology and the similar kind of career experiences. So if I would say that, yes, I've understood numerology and how it works all through your life, maybe that's what the unique proposition perhaps you bring to the table is that we have lived it. It's not read it or understood it. And that living part of it obviously led to research and then copyrights of the researched material, then books. Now I've got 4 of them. And then eventually the gold medal. It's like a validation when you win a medal in competition with 75, 80 numerologists, astrologers. And so that it's a deeper science. It's a science because the whole competitions are all about predictive information. So if you can predict, which means the science exists. And now it's like I have been doing numerology consultancy, predicting the future for my clients, and especially so for business leaders across the board. And when I say across the board here, it's like God is kind, 21,000 clients plus
Wow.
in 51 countries. So
That's amazing.
So that's an expanse when you started your base in a country of astrologers, and that base you've expanded to the a good part of the globe. So which means it's recognized as a science. तो जब वो सोचा कि अब ये साइंस है established है, it's taken a lot of tears and hard work to reach that level where they finally gave a doctorate. So if I would say that is my doctorate one of the unique ones in India, yes it is, perhaps. Is it across internationally recognized across the UK, US and in India in some universities? Yes it is. So while the countries like US and UK have different systems of numerology. So they work on Pythagoras, Western numerology systems. We work on the Chaldean systems. But I was able to bring it together, researched. No one taught me because no one is a teacher of those. So I was able to bring those two sciences together, put up a research document, got it copyrighted from Delhi High Court, then went on to apply for my doctorate. And the journey from 2010 to 2022, 23 I think, 23, is 13 years of hard work to come to a point where they finally recognized a doctorate in numerology.
Yeah.
It's easier to be a doctorate in this country and many other things. But to be accepted as a science in this country, it's a lot of hard work. तो हो गया. अब जब हो गया है तो एक मोटा खुशबू we want to do is that I wanted this knowledge as a science to reach every household. So we have a mission called One Family, One Numerologist.
Yeah.
One Family, One Numerologist there is a sense of wisdom in our Indian households. There is some elderly person who will tell you, yaar, khansi जुकाम में क्या करना है. Before you go to the chemist, before you go to a doctor, the chemist is going to tell you this is what you should do and it works. So that inherent depth of knowledge that exists in our family system, I just wanted to add the numerology का depth also.
Yeah.
जैसे यार कि ठीक है, अब एक बंदा घर पे numerology कर ले as a student, it empowers the entire family. It empowers the children of knowing their subjects so that they should not fall in bad company, should they be studying abroad, etc. It empowers the parents to understand what the traits, unique traits of their child are, and hence bringing up the child in a very unique way, which is not possible in school. 35-40 students in a class. So agar har jagah pe, it makes it very easy for a professional to optimize his efforts, to manage his boss, for example, because you know the boss's numbers, so you can understand what is the expectation, much more than a KRA conversation which happens through an edge, much more. Why I'm saying so is because I've understood the corporate part of it myself. Aaj ki tarikh mein, if I'm doing numerology, I'm also developing an app in the world of numerology. I'm also putting investments in luxury watch trading company, and then I'm also putting in a couple of things internationally. So yes, I am applying those to the knowledge to business principles in the same manner that I am also consulting business people.
Okay, so I want to expand. So thanks for sharing your journey, but I just want to expand. So you said you started learning numerology when you were in class 8. So that's about age 10 or 12, approximately about 12 years old. And what happened, or what basically motivated you to learn numerology? Or
That's fate. There's no motivation. What does it? I was an 8th class student. Understand about numerology? The book is in front of you. You got to buy my nice fancy register. There's no laptop. There's no iPads, and you want to just do something. You want to make some notes, and after some time, that register looks very nice because it's got 20, 30 pages of stuff, and that register keeps growing. Eventually, you come back and look at it. Maybe after 10 years, you say, "Wow, man, this is all I've done." And I think it just was meant to be. There's nothing that's specially been done that I've done. So, yeah, but if you recognize the planets that made you do it,
yeah, okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you understand the planets that made you do that, since I'm 11th one is a master number. Master numbers, 11th one, all 11th one, or people who have their date plus month plus year as 11, are called master numbers. And in the world of numerology, master number 11 is called the spiritual messengers of God. So it's not a fancy thing. It's only about, the conversation is very spiritual. It is supposed to impact the journey of people at large, because that's what a master number's life is all about. And the experiential learning that will come, through numerology or life, you need to just understand this and share it with public at large. So that one family, one numerologist, I think, has also come from there somewhere, where we said, yeah, knowledge is well worth it. Let's expand it. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm number 11 to my life path's 11, so I completely resonate with your experience. And it really, I'm kind of similar person who feels, oh, I want to go help out the world, and money doesn't matter, but it's just ensuring that they are equipped with what's right for them. That will help with them with their life journey. Okay.
Also, see the point is that when you're trying to get this knowledge at a family level, which is fine, understandable. It's a normal practice for me to experience sometimes that the wife has come to understand and the husband's not supportive, and vice versa. And then you know that there is issues in the family. When you get a chance to see a chart, obviously get a chance to peek into the future and see the entire life. And you know that this point in time, this gentleman is going to ring the bell and say, now I want to understand this, and that could be a few years away. In a circumstance, it could be the next month as well, where the problem is sitting around the corner. Now, when you start looking at that, you realize that had this been recognized as a science by law, by the universities, and if not, then set up your own university. So when you say that, okay, I not only wanted it to come into every family's life, but I want it to be taught at a level where it's institutionalized. So when you're doing that, we have automated courses where people can log in and do the course.
Yeah.
I take my batches and all that. I have written books now, and I've, it's all out there in Amazon now. And now what we want to do is we want to put up an app. We were working very fast on that, and that's based on AI and machine learning. It's a self-learning app.
Okay.
So it will pick up the planets and keep talking to those planets, and as the person interacts with those apps, they understand more traits, and those traits then bring the planets together. It's a complex conversation, but that's happening. So now the whole, it's become more like a zeal to get it recognized, not only for my own self, but for many budding numerologists who understand the power of it or the science of it, but also designed to keep the hocus pocus out of the world. This is not a science for name change alone. This is not a science कि ये नाम number रख दो, ये नाम रख दो. So I would say that 95% of what's happening in the world of numerology, at least what's in my visibility, is all hocus pocus. It's not science. It's mostly about having learned it in a short time, and 6 months down the line, you started practicing and started meddling with the names. And you know very well, Khushbu, that these are not letters of the English alphabet that you are changing. You are changing the planets.
Yeah.
अब किसी को प्लैनेट्स को आप चेंज करोगे, पहले प्लैनेट्स के बारे में पता तो चले, आप जानते कितना उसके बारे में. नाउ किसी प्लैनेट को आपने चेंज कर दिया, यू इंड्यूस्ड सम प्लैनेट व्हिच कैन ब्रिंग इन डाइवोर्स, व्हिच कैन ब्रिंग इन ब्लाइंडनेस. वी आर द नेम नंबर्स, यू नो दैट, यू लर्न दैट फ्रॉम मी. ब्लाइंडनेस हो गया, डाइवोर्स हो गया, एक्सीडेंट्स हो गए, पैरालिसिस हो गया, बिकॉज आपने वो प्लैनेट उसको इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया नाम में, जो 7 साल 8 साल के बाद वही प्लैनेट उल्टा आ रहा था. वो उस टाइम पे वो नाम पुराना हो चुका होगा, उस टाइम पे वो नाम एक्सीडेंट कर देगा, पैरालिसिस कर देगा, जेल में डाल देगा. और आपको ये पता ही नहीं है कि आप इतना बड़ा काम कर रहे हो, एंड सर्टिफिकेशन का कोई सिस्टम नहीं है, because there's no judging of quality. So I am more interested in some point in time to even set up a school.
Okay.
Like not college, not like a like not like a class and all, which is already going on, but school. So that there is research going on there. There are people who graduate from level 1, level 2, level 3, like a school, not just go and get a bam, get a certificate and then you're out there. It's a long journey. Let's see how this goes. The more people support us now, because our students are beginning to come together. We're talking to you, and we are talking now. So this is all that kind of conversation. You are going to take this conversation to London.
Yeah.
There's somebody who's already wanted to take us to Dubai. I'm already there in many other countries, in the sense that my clients are there. Let's see. It's a science should be recognized, and one is my whole point. इसको ना normally नाम change का science नहीं समझना, वो गलत है और वो बहुत damaging है.
Yeah. So I want to find out about, I think there are many numerologist consultants out there, and a lot of them recommend just changing your name number to 6. So 6 is planet Venus, right? And I want to find out what's your take or what's your opinion about it, and should everybody change their name number to 6 or their business name to 6? Or
No, see, the point is that you may have found a lot of 6 being recommended, but that's not the case. The favorites of numerologists in India is 1, 5, 6 and 3. Okay, so they understand ये तो Jupiter है, ये तो Venus है, ये तो Mercury है, ये तो all of that. But एक नाम is not a number 5 or a number 6. A name is a double digit. It comes to a 15, then it comes to a 6. It comes to a 24, then it comes to a 6. It comes to a 33, then it comes to a 6. Similarly, it's a 55, then it comes to a 10, which comes to a 1. The whole understanding of numerology का मतलब होता है, आप double digits का पहले traits पता होना चाहिए. Double digits is not 33 means एक 3 और 3 का मिला दिया, ऐसे नहीं होता है, वो भी गलत है. And then, so the luck is the double digit of the name.
Okay.
Now, for example, 33 is a damn good number. वो लक्ष्मी जी का number है, but 24 is a good number, but not as potent as 33. 24 as a date of birth is disaster for family life. मतलब फैमिली लाइफ का सुख अगर 24 तारीख को पैदा हुआ तो नहीं होता, बट 24 नेम नंबर बड़ा अच्छा होता है. So 42 is a name number which will give you support from people in power. It'll take care of your diabetes. It'll give you a lot of concessions in life in terms of, you know, luxuries and things like that. But a 33 is a master number. It will also give you spiritualism. तो आप पता तो चले आप कौन से double digits से deal कर रहे हो. Now typically an example in 3, for example, 12 is good, 21 is okay, not bad. But most of the numbers like a 48, which comes to 12, which is 3, is actually a name number of sacrifices. Now आपने वो नाम 3 का रख दिया कि तो बहुत अच्छा मैंने Jupiter दे दिया. Jupiter is what? Social status and money, 3 number. But उसके पीछे तो 48 है. 48 तो sacrifices, पेट में गैस एंड माइंड को डिस्ट्रैक्ट करता है. आपके पेट में गैस आ गई. नाउ सपोज इसको थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लेक्स करते हैं. आपके स्टमक में गैस आ गई उस नाम से, और आप कार्मिक डेट से पैदा हुए. अब कार्मिक डेट्स कौन से होते हैं? जिसमें पिछले लाइफ का दोष. अब जैसे आप 13th को पैदा हुए हो, 14th को पैदा हुए हो, 16th को, 19th को, ये कार्मिक डेट्स हैं. अब आपका डेट ऑफ बर्थ ये है, आपका नेम नंबर एस में आ रहा है, और आपने 48 का नाम रख दिया या डेट ऑफ बर्थ आपका ये, या डेट प्लस मंथ प्लस ईयर, वो जो गैस आ रही है, जो नॉर्मली गैस आती है ना, वो गैस पॉइजनस गैस हो जाएगी, बिकॉज उसमें कर्म का दोष आ गया. अगर वो गैस पॉइजनस हो गई और अगर उसमें कैंसर सेल्स आ गए तो फिर क्या करोगे? आपको आइडिया ही नहीं है, आप प्लैनेट्स के साथ खेल रहे हो, आप बैंग ऑन एक नंबर ऐड करके बनाए जा रहे हो. दूसरी बात जो मुझे सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, आप एस्ट्रोलॉजी को देखो, परफेक्ट साइंस है. इट टेक्स 20 years टू एन एस्ट्रोलॉजर टू गेट वेरी. वो 2-2.5 साल वाले एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स की बात नहीं कर रहा, वो तो नीम हकीम खतराए जान. आप एक अच्छे एस्ट्रोलॉजर के पास जाते हो, उसको 15-20 साल से पढ़ाई कर रहा हो. द साइंस इज एक्सट्रीमली पावरफुल. प्लैनेट्स हैं, तो सबसे पहले एक एस्ट्रोलॉजी क्या करती है, बोलती है यार फ्यूचर बताओ क्या है मेरा. आप पंडित की बात करते हो तो फ्यूचर की बात करते हो. आप ये बताओ कौन सा न्यूमरोलॉजिस्ट है जो फ्यूचर की बात करता है. वो टैरो कार्ड के साथ मिला लेते हैं, वो एस्ट्रो न्यूमरोलॉजिस्ट बन जाते हैं, बिकॉज इट्स लाइक मोरली लाइक अ किसी भी तरह कुछ फ्यूचर का डैबल करके बता दो. चलो आपने अगर बता भी दिया जितना भी आता है फ्यूचर के बारे में, या अगर आपको फ्यूचर के बारे में ठीक से चेक नहीं करना आता, तो आपने वो ऐसा नाम कैसे दे दिया जो आपको लगता है कि वो जिंदगी भर उसके लिए सक्सेसफुल रहेगा. आप जो 10 साल पहले थे एज अ पर्सन, आर यू द सेम पर्सन?
नो.
अगर आप 20 साल पहले थे, आप वही इंसान हो. जब आप बदले, आपकी एक्सपीरियंस ने आपको बदला, आपके प्लैनेट्स बदलते गए, तो आपको कैसे पता विद अ गारंटी और कॉन्फिडेंस के जो आपने नाम रखा वो सही रखा है, जो पूरी लाइफ के लिए. एज ए न्यूमरोलॉजिस्ट अगर आपको कैलकुलेट करना ही नहीं आता फ्यूचर, आप कैसे किसी का नाम रख रहे हो? बिकॉज आपको ये नहीं पता था कि आज तो आपने नाम रख दिया 2025 में, वो 28-29 में तो एक्सीडेंटल ईयर्स आ गए हैं. ये नाम उस टाइम पे जाके एक्सीडेंट तेज करवा देगा. You're gonna walk away. Nobody's gonna get disturbed.
Yeah.
But that poor chap who came to you in blind faith would lose so much more than he's bargained for. So, responsibilities, that sense of accountability in this sciences, a sense of ठोस, एक कहना एक ठहरावपन कि आप एक नॉलेज को डील कर रहे हो, आप एक प्लैनेट्स को डील कर रहे हो, तो आप ठीक से डील करोगे, वो बहुत क्वेश्चनेबल है. एंड दैट्स वाई खुद ही पढ़ के आप ऑटोमेटेड कोर्स कर लो, ऑनलाइन बैच कर लो, किताब पढ़ लो, यार खुद करके इतनी गलतियां नहीं करोगे, बिकॉज अपनी ज़िंदगी के बारे में खुद ओनरशिप ले रहे हो. किसी और से सुन के करते रहोगे तो क्या पता किसने क्या बोल दिया, जिसका रिस्पॉन्स क्या आने वाला है.
Okay, so sir, I'd like to find out. We've spoken about name numbers. We've spoken about your journey from general manager to VP to numerologist. We've also spoken about your mission in life. And I want to now expand a bit more about how numerology has helped you navigate through your life challenges that you faced ever since you've known numerology. So nothing before, but ever since numerology was introduced in your life.
I don't even remember who I was before 8th class, So obviously it's ever since I know numerology. So in that sense of speaking, so it's an easy question answered because you know that I'm 11th one. So typically 11th तो master numbers होते हैं. अब master numbers का एक fundamental होता है that the sense of spiritualism about it. And if you want to pursue money for the sake of money or material pursuits, that is okay. But वो घूम फिर के कहीं ना कहीं आपको spiritualism में लेके ही आता है. Okay. So that's 11. And that's 11 for Amitabh Bachchan. That's 11 for Thomas Edison. That's 11 for what's it called? Bill Clinton. That's 11 for Vishwanathan Anand. 11 ऐसा ही है. Now the point is that obviously it brought me into numerology early in my life. So there was this little tinkering anyways with happening, which was destiny calling. 11 would lead me to a point where I would be going through a lot of trials. Spiritualism, it's not easy to be spiritual when you are a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old. Spiritualism of 11 means what? आपकी लाइफ में ट्रायल्स आएंगे, ट्रायल्स के बाद आप उसमें से निकल जाओगे. जब आपकी लाइफ में जब आप निकल जाओगे, सेव हो जाओगे, तो आपको लगेगा यार कोई ना कोई भगवान का हाथ तो पीछे था. That's what 11 means. And that आपकी लाइफ में ट्रायल्स आएंगे is a very big thing. So when I was 7 years old, I had a very major accident, headlong truck and an auto, IIT crossing Delhi. So in that accident, my grandmother died, my Masi died, my younger sister, I was 7 years old, so my sister was 3.5 years old. She broke her leg and arm as a 3.5-year-old kid. I was in Ames Hospital for 2.5 years. So when I came out, I was 9.5 years old and I was on crutches.
Okay.
So that's the first incident to say, इतना डैमेज हुआ लाइफ में, आप निकल आए. Because The first 10 days of that accident, I was in coma where the doctors were trying to fight for my life. And then 14 major operations later, major. And each operation trying to restore my body was broken into pieces and all that stuff. So I think 14 operations, each lasting 7 to 8 hours, was on a 7-year-old kid just to bring the body stitched up together. वो लाइफ थी, वो लाइफ में 2.5 साल made my parents go bankrupt. They both doctors, they were very both senior doctors, major. So we knew everyone names and all that in that sense of speaking. So we had good attention. But we went through bankruptcy. My mom lost her mother and her sister. Her son is in the hospital. अब ये trials की life है. And then you come out, look back and say, oh, it's a story I'm telling today. So I'm like out there to tell a story of what my life was, perhaps. And then things like that. So there was a time when I was running my software company of mortgages. So it was doing well as just before the Lehman Brothers crashed. Second incident. Now by this time, numerology was a part of my system, so I could figure something's happening, not going to happen right. So I kind of saved myself to a large extent from the crash that came because of Lehman Brothers crash. Now that crash that came, I had 8 clients. So obviously it was not I was 24% stakeholder. So obviously the luck was also of the other people involved and their charts and stuff. That's how I came to learn about business consultation, dhire dhire. So now that happens and the company comes crashing down because 8 out of 9 clients are mortgage clients and they just simply stop paying and taking your calls one night. And you have 350, 400 employees, 80 cabs, the whole call center with the 3-year lock-in period, 250 computers. It was like a mess. All of that's to be paid and the client's money just stopped. And it stops within 12 hours. One day, they just stop because they went bankrupt. They declared bankruptcy. Now who cares what's happening out there in India and things like that. So when you come into those kind of fires and then you walk out and... So I was sitting in my office in Gurgaon and I was saying, now what next? So to a point in time, I was able to save a lot of myself. Obviously there was a loss and it was a pretty huge loss. It took me about a good few years to bring it back together. But so I was sitting there and I was like looking at the whole situation and saying, man, now this is all gone. That's a trial. You don't usually have a company with 350 people going under in 12 hours, maximum 24 hours. And that's a trial you've never seen. So as a corporate or a business person, now I'm thinking of what do I do? And I look at the charts and all that. That little register still, came out. My bachpan ka jo register tha, it was always there. So I was just sitting and just flipping through it and all. And then I said, yeah, I am this age. Now it was 45th year or 44th year. I said, in the next 7, 8, 10 years, I'll be able to establish myself as a numerologist. But if I'm going to be 54, 55 in a corporate world, if I go back to the corporate world, I'll be ready for retirement. So at the max, they'll extend me for another couple of years. By the time I'm going to be 57, 58, I'm unemployable. इससे तो अच्छा है कि अभी risk ले लो. Now that risk ले लो is numerology. My charts, my future projections, my struggle periods, the situation that's happening, for how long will it last. It was a long journey. And it just so happens when you are tested as a master number, you also get an option of a job right there and then a good option of a COO in East Europe, 1,000 people, 1,200 people, but comfortable with Mercedes given and all that. So that, now there's this thing, and here I'm going bankrupt, and here I want to be a numerologist, which is, sorry to say, but 2100 rupees. Until then you are flying off in business class and all that stuff, and then suddenly you are wanting to do consulting at 2100 rupees and all of that. Yeah. That was again, like an intuitive thing on a master number trying to figure out what's the right path to take. And that point of intuition, when I took a decision that I want to go and establish numerology in a land of astrologers, you come to a point where 11 is 10 and 1, you and your God. 10 is God, 1 is you. So when you come to a point where you find you're completely alone in this world, because this kind of a decision, nobody was ready to support. My family, my parents, my sister, my friends, they all mocked me. What the hell is wrong with you and all? So nobody was ready to support me in that decision. For what? For 10 years. 10 years is a lifetime. So I would say the first 5 years was like, oh, you're mocked around. people made fun behind your back.
Yeah.
My parents were very disappointed, and what is it turned out to be? My mama, one of my mamas, very senior guy in US telecom. He was the president of companies, and well, let's put it straight. He was the president of AT&T worldwide. Okay, he's a big guy, the first Asian to come to that position in the US. And he sends, I met his brother, my other mama, and I said, I need some money, man. I need money to survive, so I need some loans and all that. So he laughed. He says, Mama is saying, the guy in the US, ये क्या करता रहता है लाइफ से? He can't stabilize himself. And he says, अभी नहीं दूंगा तेरे को मैं. If I do that, you'll get used to it. I think you should struggle a little and go back to the job. He says that to be in a barista coffee shop when I have no money to pay even for my petrol. And I was asking 40-50K so that yaar, ye mahina nikal jaye. And he walks away. And here I am with 30-40 people, jitna bhi hoga, utna hi paisa mere purse mein tha. And I'm like going back and saying, okay, so this is what I had to hear also because I asked for financial.
Yeah.
कि मैं humans में फंसू भी कि humans में ना फंसू. Incidents like that was like, okay, so this churn of a master number's life. So when you understand numerology, you understand the life of a master number or your life of a karmic debts, then you know that, where you need to drive your strength from. The strength will come from the understanding of the planets, but the biggest strength will come from you getting a sense of future. कि यार फ्यूचर में तो मुझे पता है ना क्या हो रहा है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, यही खींचना है ना, तो चलो 4 साल 5 साल मॉक हो गए, 2-3 साल और मॉक कर लेते हैं. अब वो 2-3 साल मॉक होना या 6 साल स्ट्रगल करना इज अ लॉट ऑफ मनी, इज अ लॉट ऑफ हार्ड बर्न, बट दिस इज व्हाट अ लाइफ ऑफ अ मास्टर नंबर इज. सो वंस यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट, it changes your life. You can take some very strong risk decisions also, but they're not risk because you know what's happening in the future. Things like that. There are many incidents like that which kept putting me to a point, to another point, to another point. Now we're doing podcasts and we're talking about bringing this to 51 countries we already have, and then you want to do some more stuff. God is like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the story that you've just said. Your life story is really inspiring, and I think it's a true reflection of a master number life, like the struggles and the challenges that we go through, and how God has helped you now that you're helping everyone else out in the world. So I think
I don't know about that, but what I'm trying to do for the podcast is very simple, that I'm doing a podcast with a purpose. I want people to accept this as a science.
Yeah.
I want people to be empowered when they are in the gloom, because I feel, and I genuinely understand this now, that 2025 onwards, it's a tough life. With so much things happening which are not in our control, the wars, the climate, the artificial intelligence, the kind of climate, the kind of COVID that has come once, can always come again.
Yeah.
There is so much that's happening on genomics, there's so much that's happening on cloning, there's so much that's happening on genetic editings now.
Yeah.
इतना कुछ हो रहा है कि अपनी life is getting beyond control, not to mention the social medias and the deep fakes. So much is happening out of control. So my point is, एक basic level so survival के लिए चाहिए ना इंसान को, अब वो ना 12वीं क्लास पार करके या कॉलेज पार करके नहीं मिलने वाला, वो MBA करके भी नहीं मिलने वाला. आपको दोबारा वापस जाना पड़ेगा ऑकल्ट के लिए, आपको दोबारा वापस जाना पड़ेगा उन साइंसेस के लिए जहाँ से आप आए थे. एंड जब तक आप उस बात को नहीं जाओगे वापस, आप अपने लॉजिक और डेटाबेस से जिंदगी को लड़ते रहोगे, आप स्ट्रगल करोगे. बिकॉज वो चीज़ें ये अब बियॉन्ड डाटा एंड बियॉन्ड लॉजिक है.
सो सर, आपने इतनी चैलेंजेस के बारे में बात की, आपकी पर्सनल लाइफ में जो आपने फेस किया, एंड ऑल्सो ऑल द चैलेंजेस दैट वी आर फेसिंग इन 2025 एंड मोर टू कम in the future, what tip would you like to give all your viewers, or is there any message you'd like to give your viewers to kind of help them manifest a better future for themselves?
2-3 चीज़ें तो यार मेरे को जी ने भी सिखाया, maturity ने भी सिखाया. Now obviously I do numerology projections on a daily basis. I meet so many clients, 70-80 clients तो हर महीने नए आते हैं. And the stories are common.
Yeah.
So I just did a program today called Millions for Billions, which was money, power, position. But the basic essence of that program was spiritual strength. The reason I'm starting to do these programs is simply because I think it's time for the basic levels of intelligence to go up a notch. And simply numbers से या आपके hard work से I mentioned चलेगा नहीं.
Yeah.
And this is happening faster than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my message to my viewers is not a message. It's like, get ready to deconstruct and reconstruct your life. It's as straight as that. There are no shortcuts anymore. There are nothing which you can take for granted beyond 2 years, 3 years. आप कुछ granted ले ही नहीं सकते. 2-3 साल तक तो पकड़ के रखोगे. उसके बाद आपको ही नहीं पता जिंदगी क्या होने वाली है. तो अगर आपको इतना नहीं पता, अगर आपको एक साइंस मिलती है जहाँ से आपको थोड़ा सा फ्यूचर दिखता है, जब आप देख सकते हो, अगर आपको एक साइंस मिलती है जब आप प्लैनेट्स को अलाइन कर सकते हो कि भाई 4 रुपए का एफर्ट करोगे तो कम से कम 3.5 का रिजल्ट तो आए, बजाय कि आप 10 साल 20 साल जो है 4 रुपए का एफर्ट्स कर रहे हो, 50 पैसे का भी नहीं आ रहा, क्योंकि आप गलत जगह पे लगे हुए. बिकॉज आपके माँ बाप ने सिखाया या फ्रेंड्स ने ये सिखाया या आपके एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन ने आपको उस डायरेक्शन में धक्का दे दिया कि आपके पास अब चॉइस नहीं है, कि आप जिंदगी बार बार बदल नहीं सकते हो. अब जब आपका प्रोडक्टिविटी लेवल्स आर गोइंग हायर, आई वांट दिस टू बी a more like a moment for the youngsters. Obviously my love and my attention is India first. Youngest country है. 65% of the population is 35 years and around that same time. So it's a young country with a lot of energy. अगर मैं ये साइंसेस को और से जो प्रोग्राम्स कर रहा हूँ, जो न्यूमरोलॉजी के अपने आप ऑटोमेटेड कोर्सेज बेच रहा हूँ जहाँ पे इंसान अपने आप लॉगिन करके कर सकता है, जो किताब देख के जो इतना कुछ कर रहा हूँ, सो दैट एक इंसान जिसको अपने बारे में जानना है वो 4,000 रुपये में भी रिपोर्ट ले सकता है. एक इंसान को जो पढ़ना है अपने आप और सर्टिफिकेशंस करनी है वो 8,000 रुपये में भी मेरी वेबसाइट पे जाके कर सकता है. एक इंसान जो पढ़ के प्रैक्टिस करना चाह रहा है वो 21,000 में मेरा कोर्स कर सकता है. वट एवर हैव यू. ये जब ये या मेरी वेबसाइट पे जाके sachinssharma.com में वहाँ पे फ्री रेमेडीज भी अपना नाम डेट मंथ ये डाले, कुछ फ्री रेमेडीज है वहाँ से वो भी उठा सकता है. अब द आइडिया इज टू गो ballistic in trying to empower the society. When I say ballistic, it means my programs as well. It means everything that I can do in my power to make this. And my personal agenda is to empower business and business. So I would have at least 400 clients out of these 2,000 clients. So business owners, and they need to hire right. They need to have the right people surrounding them. So they need their numbers to be strong. ये बंदा help करेगा. This guy is going to be good for my company. This guy is in wrong place, wrong company, wrong time. This guy may leave my job. This guy has a family problem coming in his life. Will not be able to work well in my company. There's so many information that a chairman of a company needs. Small, mediums, large, whatever have you. So I want to empower that one guy who is going to empower 300 families. That's his company size. I want to empower that one guy who's going to empower 20 families because the chota businessman. वो MSME है. And I want to empower the one guy who is also empowering or feeding 2,000 families. अब मेरे को वो scale वाले बंदा को help करना है so that he's strong. Being strong can become much faster. So I think I'm kind of a little impatient about it. I want to get focused on business consultations as a way of life. And I want to get onto my programs because they empower even a housemaker, even a kid in going to school and college. So I'm running a special program for the kids called My Power Kid, and a special program for adults, which I just did today. We are right now sitting at the Trident in Mumbai. So I did the program the whole day. Now the podcast. So podcast is going to become a platform for me to give my ideas. But eventually we have a lot of offshoots now. We're trying to empower the world. So I think we will go really aggressive in 2025 onwards in spreading this knowledge.
That's amazing. And I think that's what we all need in this world is the power to...
Knowledge.
Yeah, basically the knowledge, and also to be able to have the life that we have always desired or wanted. And I think numerology is also a supportive tool to have the life that we want.
It's funny when I think about it because I think I have the luxury to be idealistic. Because अब वो age हो तो गई है, कर तो दिया है. We are dealing with so many people and we understand that most of the problems that humans talk about are very common.
Yeah.
वो एक कॉमन है. उसके लिए उस इंसान के लिए जो प्रॉब्लम को जी रहा है उसके लिए तो बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. लेकिन अब आप डॉक्टर की तरह देखते हो तो आपको पता है तो वही एलिमेंट्स हैं, वही सिम्टम्स हैं, वही चीज़ है. सो व्हेन यू आर कमिंग टू दैट स्टेज वेयर यू आर क्लिनिकल अबाउट दिस थिंग एंड यू वांट द गाय टू रियली बी हेल्प्ड, आई हैव द लग्जरी टू से दैट यू कैन, जो कहते हैं ना कि इंडिया सोने की चिड़िया होता था, यार सोने की चिड़िया तो आज भी हो सकता है.
Yeah.
The rhythm of the country for the few years is so good that the world is recognizing it, and unfortunately and very interestingly, the rest of the world is falling apart. आप एक भी आइलैंड ऑफ प्रोस्पेरिटी आज नहीं बोल सकते प्रैक्टिकली कि जहाँ भी लगे यार ये तो बहुत ही सुख शांति और समृद्धि है. इवन इफ यू लुक एट ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यू नो दैट चाइना इज नॉकिंग ऑन देयर हेड. You look at Japan, you see South Korea is flying off their planes on their airspace. You look at the other Middle East, you know what is happening in Middle East and Europe right now. You look at South of America, it was never there, it's still getting bad towards. Yeah. Where are the islands of prosperity left? अगर एक छोटी सी जगह बची है, and the sense of strength comes from our old civilization, our value system, the way we have dealt with people in our past, the way we are as humans. Now if I say यार चल इंडिया को बड़ा करते हैं, अपनी छोटी लेवल पे ही कर रहे हैं ना, चल इंडिया को बड़ा करते हैं, नॉलेज से बड़ा करते हैं, चल न्यूमरोलॉजी से इंडिया को बड़ा करते हैं. तो यार मैं तो कह सकता हूँ, बिकॉज मेरे लिए तो मिशन बन सकता है, वो है. आप सोच सकते हो इट मे नॉट बी सीरियस फॉर यू, बट आई नो दैट इफ इट रीचेज अ क्रिटिकल मास, it can turn things around. So you know yourself, when you changed your name, and I recommended the name change, whatever, it changed within a year and a half. Things changed for you within a year and a half. And those kind of stories and thank you notes I get regularly. तब मुझे एक इंसान की अगर लाइफ बदल रही तो मैं तो फिर वही नॉलेज अगर सब लोग पढ़े तो फिर the whole theme is that in my head.
Great. So, sir, you've spoken about how you want India to progress and basically prosperity and business consultations. So, I'd like to find out how does numerology help businesses or helps a business owner basically plan future?
Not only an owner, even an entrepreneur or a wannabe entrepreneur. You know, so it's like, so let's understand what a business needs. So if I'm a business person, I need my luck of my family read out, of myself read out. How I am as a person in terms of my luck, and the chart reading can take care of that. But my luck is also affected by my spouse, and vice versa. Matchmaking तभी तो होती है. अगर मेरे को at a unit level, which means spouse and the कर्ता of the family perhaps and the children, अगर मुझे as a unit level मैंने सबको एक remedy करके एक structure में डाल दिया, that if the luck is at 20%, tomorrow it can go up to 70%, 75%. That's a job well done. So that's the first aspect, that पहले उनकी अपनी personal luck तो साफ करो. कार्मिक डेट्स हो सकते हैं, ट्रायल्स हो सकते हैं, डाइवोर्सेस हो सकते हैं, एक्सीडेंट्स हो सकते हैं, पीपल लीविंग यू इन द मिडल ऑफ योर प्रोजेक्ट हो सकता है, पार्टनर्स कैन लीव यू, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स कैन हैपन. सो लक तो पता चले पहले, एंड यू कैन डू दैट, एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई बीन डूइंग फॉर 30 years. सो इट्स लाइक आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट. द सेकंड थिंग इज, नाउ यू गॉट योर बिजनेस पर्सन इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू who's investing lakhs and crores of rupees in a business. There are 4 or 5 things that will make him a successful one. One is that his luck with people, his support from family and his employees, in terms of, so if you're hiring the right people at a strategic level, or we are analyzing the people at a strategic level who are vice presidents, presidents, who have, or function heads, where they have a particular function, and knowing that this gentleman is going to last longer or is optimized for that function, or the planets are supporting that job or the career for the next 3, 4, 5 foreseeable future, at least एक continuity तो बनती है उस particular department by department, or project by project. The second thing is the kind of conversation that happens in a boardroom where there are more than one directors or many partners, or directors as partners, family businesses, their wives now coming in and joining in on the board of directors, the children coming and joining the board of directors, who should get what kind of role, who should actually be at a shareholders list or not, stakes wise, luck wise, and the timing wise, sustainability. The third thing is, when you're hiring someone, acquiring a company, when you as an acquirer has got the means to acquire the company, but you don't know if those people are going to accept you. Now you've acquired a company, you've spent crores of rupees in doing so, and the people leave. The rightful people, whom I'm not talking about the owners, but I'm definitely talking about their specialist professionals. If they leave, then that company is all shell. So how would you as the owner be accepted by these people? So you need to have a full nature rundown of these people to understand this is what makes this person click, this is what makes this person click, this is what this person is not going to be good for the company. So there was a company, just for an example, a UK-based company, and they came to me 3, 4, 5 years ago, where one of the top key Formula One champions was going to be their brand ambassador. And this is a company that makes special metals for Formula One cars.
Okay.
And so the owner came and said, okay, so here is this guy. Obviously, if I take him as a brand manager, he's going to cost me millions of dollars, euros, whatever it is. And we analyzed and says, no way. This guy is not going to make it. As luck would have it, or as the numbers are, the last 4, 5 years, he's not won. Now, had they put that money on board for the amount of charge that we had, he would have had to pay through his mouth and nose to retain him, to keep him going around with no returns or diminishing returns. Now, these are critical hiring. Sometimes we did hire a guy who came, in spite of our recommendations, did hire a wrong HR manager. That HR manager made the company unionized. He went ulta.
Right.
He created the union, and the guy had to flee to East Europe. And whatever happens after that, the company was closed and all the paperwork was done properly. But for that moment, we had warned that this is the wrong hire. So चलो एक तो hiring हो गया,
So, sir,
एक
how-
succession planning हो गया.
How did you basically determine that hire was wrong? Like what?
Planets.
कैसे आपने?
Planets. Their date month here was there with me. The name was there with me. So obviously I understood from there. Of course, he explained in details to the person concerned. But that's one part, that you are critical hiring, or you are getting your family done, or you're doing proper succession planning, that you're setting the right person for the right job in the family structures. Now all of this is fine. Then you obviously have the logo and the brand.
Yeah.
Now the logo and the brand is a very complicated conversation, and that doesn't really happen the way it should. It's always in line with the line of business, and then in line with the people who are owning that business. So there are two different, matching happen there. And then when you make a logo and things like that, it should be in rhythm in terms of the colors, contours, and designs and all. So that gets a little complicated, but a little easy as well, because those are the trail stuff. Most important thing is, when you are doing numerology to a business owner or a startup, you need to be mentoring that person on the weaknesses of his chart.
Okay.
Let me give you an example, without naming the company, of course. This guy wants to bring his brother onto the board of directors. He's had some problems with a partner. And that partner doesn't want to go away. He has to buy him out. He has the means to buy him out. The partner probably will also be okay. So that part is not that tedious. So it's happening. Now he's left alone and feeling insecure. He wants to bring his brother, who just doesn't want to be in the family business, who will come when the family decides so. It'll be more like you're doing a favor to this guy who's already beleaguered with the fact that business is tough and the partner is leaving him. He's already down and out. He's fighting that war, and suddenly the family says, bring him on so that he can help you. He's not going to help you. He's going to demand a lot of leverage. He's going to demand a lot of privilege, because in his mind he's helping out.
Yeah.
He's not excited about the business. Now, as a consultant, as a mentor, you will go and put a stop to that immediately, which I did. I said, look, you have got too many open fronts right now. This guy is going to open one more front to you, and you won't be able to even say anything to him because he's your brother. So your boardroom fights will start going onto the dining table. It's going to make matters worse for you. And so obviously, having understood that, they put it out there to hire a professional. Now, when you hire a professional, you're at much of an advantage, because you can sift those CVs and say, chal bhai, ye wale acha hai. Those are small things which you are involved on a daily basis. So it's like, this is complicated stuff. And even if it is not complicated, and if it's manageable, the stakes are too high to fail. So business consultation is all of that. And then you have this high energy youth who all want to start their own business.
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to be talking to someone where the father is saying, chalo ji, aapka, he wants to start a business, she wants to start a patisserie, she wants to start a cloud kitchen and patisserie, you would need to mentor them on basic business principles also, which is not a numerologist job.
Yeah.
Coming from my background of business and working with the Fortune 50 companies, then you land up becoming a mentor to these youngsters, which is also a lot of time and effort. So it's that kind of quality of work that excites me now. And I think we need that. We need your ability to see the future and then plan for it, rather than just using the data, logic, and hard work. Yeah.
Agreed. Great.